What's going on, YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be, and welcome to Brave Frontier: The Last Summoner. This is the newest title in the Brave Frontier franchise, and I am very excited to cover this title because, you know, when you look at the Hero Collector landscape currently, none of the major titles have hit sequels yet. So Brave Frontier kind of marks this very first step in a second-generation Hero Collector from the same exact developer. So I'm very excited to see what they do now that they have this clean slate. What lessons have they learned running Brave Frontier for years and years? What do they do differently? So it's going to be kind of exciting to see what the future holds for this title. So let's jump right in and kind of see what Brave Frontier: The Last Summoner is all about. And we're going to start off with combat in this one, and that'll show off the graphics. It'll show off the characters, which for a lot of people, pretty touchy subject, believe it or not. So we're gonna go ahead and bring the squad here. As you can see, you can bring 5 characters, and since I'm still kind of in the story mode, 1 character slot is locked. Right here in the center is my leader slot. So if you have a character that has a leadership skill, that's where they go. As far as loading times in the game, it's okay. You can kind of judge for yourself. Doesn't take too long at all. My phone has 4 gigabytes of memory, an older Snapdragon processor, so it runs it pretty well. There is a ton of story in the game. You can skip through it. You can't actually skip it, so it'll speed it up for you, but you do have to at least kind of watch it. So here we are in combat. Now, first things first, what I want you to take a look at is this blue crystal right here in the center that says 0. This kind of represents the mana that our characters use to cast abilities. So since right now I have 0, I can't do any type of special attacks. All I can do is a basic attack. And the way you do that is just by swiping the bottom of my screen. So you can't see me do it, but just trust that I am swiping all of my attacks at the very bottom of my screen. All my characters attack. And the cool thing is once they kill something, they move on to the next. So they're not gonna all kind of jump on the same target and waste attacks. Once they kill something, they'll move on to the next. So now that I have 12 mana, basically, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna take my healer here. Oh, she costs 15. Who costs 10? You cost 10 here. So I'm gonna take my little tank right here, and I'm gonna cast a defense ability. So I'm gonna do the same exact thing as before, swipe the bottom of my screen. All my other characters do basic attacks, and then that last character casts his defensive shield. All of your characters are gonna have a special attack. They can either attack, do that special attack, or they can defend. So let's keep on rolling, and I'll show you a little bit more about combat here. Now, as you can plainly see, this game does have an elemental system as well. So for example, let's say you're in a situation where you really want to pinpoint this little blue water character right here that I'm tapping on. So I want to focus on him. So what I can do is target him directly, and then at the very bottom of my screen, the game actually gives you a really great quality of life feature, showing you exactly which character on your team gets a bonus attack to that target and which character you probably shouldn't attack with. So as you can see right here, I get a bonus attack there, so I can do that. I can switch to this yellow target here, attack with my green if I want to, or once again, I can just swipe and use all my attacks all at once. So you do have quite a bit of flexibility. What I'm gonna do here is use my main character to do an AoE attack, swipe the bottom of my screen. So graphically, I like the game. I know a lot of people are kind of upset because the game no longer has pixel graphics. And, you know, I get it. Pixel graphics are very attractive. They're kind of in right now. Well, they've been in for like the last 4 years. But, you know, they move on. They're doing these really highly detailed sprites. I love the fact that you can, they can zoom in on certain attacks and they look really good zoomed in as well as zoomed out. They also have mouths. I know that is a really big issue for a lot of people. Yes, this game decided to give characters mouths. I don't really have a dog in that race, but that is that. We're gonna go ahead and kill this boss character here. As you can see, we built up 16 mana. Can't use that, so we'll just do basic attacks. And down they go. G to the G, and that is combat inside Brave Frontier: The Last Summoner. So once you actually complete a stage, you can go back and just auto it. Let's say you want to farm, but so far since I've been playing the game, you cannot auto the very first time you play a stage. You have to complete the stage first before auto is unlocked. So I know a lot of people will appreciate that. Auto does do special attacks, so let's actually just kind of run through that really quick. Go back here. As you can see, it shows complete. We'll go back to the stage. Oh, I just leveled up, and we'll talk about this level up stuff here in a second. I'm gonna go back to the stage, hit start. Now, since the game just came out, I have a little bit of bad news. So a lot of hero collectors that I kind of show on this channel tend to have like global launch events and server opening events and 7-day rewards and this and that. This game does not have any of those whatsoever. So the issue with that is that if you don't level while you're playing, you're probably gonna get about 15 to 20 minutes of gameplay before you're out of stamina, because there's just nothing going on to kind of help boost you through the game at all, which once again could be a pro or a con depending on how you're feeling about the game. But yeah, if you don't level while you're playing, you're getting about 15 to 20 minutes of gameplay tops. But as you can see, the auto battle does just fine, especially once you've already defeated the content, and the fact that it does do your skills, I definitely appreciate. It doesn't just do your basic attacks, which I was kind of worried about. Now, it's obviously not going to be as strategic as you would, but it definitely does get the job done. We'll just let them play out here. Good stuff. Great music, good graphics, nice special effects. I don't miss the Brave Frontier graphics, I really don't, but I didn't play it as long as a lot of people did, so take that with a grain of salt. So that is combat. Let's go back out to the home screen so I can show you more about the game here. Got ourselves a weapon, which this part right here, I think a lot of people are, in my opinion, once you see this, I think you're gonna forgive the graphics being different, because I do really appreciate that. So that is the kind of the world map here. As you can see, I'm on chapter 3 at the moment. Each chapter has a story. As you can see, it has a harvest stage where you can kind of go and get some treasure, and 2 challenge stages as well. And every single chapter has all of those types of sub-chapters. So once you go to chapter 2, there's a new line of harvest, challenge, challenge plus. Same thing with chapter 3, harvest, challenge, challenge plus. So a lot of content in the game currently. As you can see, they are advertising more story to come along. There's an event coming in 2 days. There's also some farming stages for crystals, a farming stage for karma, which is very important to everything you do in the game, and then coming soon, arena mode as well. So that is what the current content looks like. Let's take a look at the characters here, and I think, like I said, I think this is where you're gonna forgive the game a little bit. So here is my main character here. His name is Brook, and as you can see, he's using this weapon right here. Now, if you notice in combat, that was what my weapon looked like in combat. Every single weapon that you see here, if you change it, it actually changes on your character. So I like that. That is something you really don't see in a lot of different games here. So kudos to the development team for making that happen. All the characters have that. So if I go over here to, let's say my Lancer girl here, she has a spear, which looks really awesome. These graphics are good, man. I can't agree with all the masses saying that they do not like the graphics change, because I am all about it. Unfortunately, you can't see the extent of the spear here, but all your spears change, all your weapons change, and your weapons also have additional attributes as well. So as you can see here, if I use this spear, it'll boost my crystal drop rate, also boost my attack. If I switch over to this one, same thing, crystal drop rate along with boosting magic instead. So you not only do you need to look at which weapons are more powerful, you also need to see what type of enhancements on the weapon do you want as well. So that's that. As far as leveling up your units, it's actually pretty straightforward. So for example, if I wanted to level up this character right here, I would go to fuse. I can fuse units into that character, or I can use upgrade items. All of this requires karma. If you look at the upper left-hand corner of my screen where it says 2,622, I need that currency to even level up my unit. To level up this unit using one of these little items, I need 3,750. So I can't even level this character at the moment. But once again, you can kind of farm that up and get that done in the future. So as you level up your character, as you can see, this character right here, let's use a character that's a 1-star, give you a better idea of what's going on here. So this character's a 1-star, and as you level up through the star ranks, you can actually get all of these additional attribute stats as well. So right here, available at star level 1, I can boost my attack if I want to use 5,000 gold, which once again, I cannot afford. If you look at your upper right-hand corner of my screen, I got 4,033. It would cost me 5,000 gold to boost my attack by 5, and all the other additional ones will unlock over time. That's at 1-star. As you can see, it moves up to 2-star, 3-star. You start getting additional skills as well. Since this is more of kind of like a basic unit, there's not a lot of skills that open up and additional star rankings. But if you look at someone like your main character, for example, kind of the same exact process here, but way at the very bottom, you get a lot of additional skills as well. So once I'm at 5-star, I'll have the ability to have a skill that summons a phoenix, things like that. So there is a ton of upgrade ability in this game, so I wouldn't worry about that. So that is kind of what I've unlocked so far. Obviously, this game has a lot more, I'm quite sure, but given the stamina limitations, it's kind of hard to play a lot of this game at once to kind of show you all of the game. So I'm gonna have to kind of show you this game over time. So that's kind of what's in the game thus far. I still recommend it. Hopefully you guys pre-register. This will give you a lot of free weapons. The pre-registration rewards just came out today. As far as like a bunch of free summons and things like that, that's not gonna happen. Just like I kind of alluded to before, this game does not give you a lot of free stuff. And like I said, that's a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing is because you don't feel like you're rushing through the content with a bunch of overpowered units. And then the bad thing, if you wanted a bunch of overpowered units to run through the content, this game does not have that. And like I said, you're only going to get about maybe 15 to 20 minutes of gameplay per session unless you level. So that is that. So that will do it for Brave Frontier: The Last Summoner. This game is in a global launch, a worldwide release. So the title is available to download on Android or iOS, and I will have the links in the description below. Once again, my name is FG3000. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.